Hey guys, I'm coming at you barefaced again because I wanted to do another get ready with me, and I'm gonna be trying out some like kind of newish things, kind of not. Like they're new to me. One thing is at least new to me, and then, well, I guess kind of two things are new to me, but anyway, we'll get into that. But I am going to, I've already put on my brows just because I just always feel so self-conscious. But I'm going to go ahead and start with primer. And can't remember in my last video if I mentioned, oh, I can't find it. I don't know where it's at. I switch between primers. Sometimes I'll do a moisturizing primer. Sometimes I'll do a mattifying primer. But today I'm going to be using the Maybelline Master Prime. This primer is okay. I thought it was going to be more of like a gel primer than a cream primer. So it still works. I like it, but I think for a hydrating primer, I really want to try the NYX one. I'm just using my Eco Tools sponge to blend that in. Now I'm going to prime my eyes with nothing new. This is the Urban Decay Eden Eyeshadow Primer. Next, I'm going to be taking my Ulta Beauty Color Correcting Liquid Concealer in the color Pink. There honestly isn't very much left of this, so I'm kind of just scraping it right now. I think there's like a ton of product on the bottom, and of course the doe foot doesn't reach it. Alright, and then to kind of set that primer down on my lids, because it does tend to crease, and I kind of just like, I'm going to blot it down a little bit with the beauty sponge. I kind of like setting my eyelid primer sometimes before eyeshadows, because I feel like the eyeshadows go on a little bit smoother. But I'm just taking my Miliani Prep Set and Glow Powder, which has a little glow to it, which is fine. It's just a translucent powder, and I'm just taking the It Cosmetics concealer brush. It's like a big fluffy brush. Okay, and then for today's eye look, we'll be using the Urban Decay Naked Heat palette again. I just love this. I'll probably have like a ton of videos on it because there's just so many looks you can do here. But maybe I'll do the look that I did the review in this palette for. I vaguely remember what I used. Maybe I'll try and do something kind of similar to it. I just edited that video yesterday and now I can't remember what I used for all the shadows. So I think the first shadow I'm going to go into is Sauced. And I'm just going to go into the pointy side of the brush that came with this palette. And kind of tap it off a little. And I'm just going to be putting this in my crease, a little above my crease, using this as a little bit of like a transition shade. Okay, so I also took that on my lower lash line a little bit. Alright, and the next color that we're going to be going into, I think I actually went into Low Blow, but I think I will go into He Devil, which is a little bit deeper, and the brush I'm going to use is the Essence. I'm going to use the Essence Smoky Eye brush for this color. And just tap it off a little. And I'm going to be putting this in the most outer part of my crease. I'm going to go back into Sauced with that same brush and just kind of blend the edges a little bit. Alright, and for the kind of fun pop of shimmery color, we're going to go into the color Scorched with my Lamora Classic shader brush And I'm really just going to pack that color on the brush. And we're just going to be putting that where I left the rest of my lid clean. So kind of the inner part and the most center part of my lid. I am also taking whatever is left on the tip of the brush and bringing it down into the lower lash line, the inner part of the lower lash line where we didn't really put any colors down there. And if you want to make this color like more metallic looking, you could probably spray your brush if you want. You're gonna go into a ColourPop shadow to kind of top it off a little bit, make it a little bit more sparkly. So the ColourPop shadow we're going into is EXO, EXO. And this is that formula that has that bouncy texture to it. This color is a really bright hot pink color. And we're just going to kind of add it a little bit to the lid and a little bit in the lower lash line. And the brush we're going to be using, that I'm going to be using, is the More Precise Shader brush. And I'm really going to pack that color on the brush and just pat it on the lid area. And then at this point, if you want to deepen up the outer corner a little bit more, you can, which I'm going to. So just going back into He Devil with the same Essence brush that we used and just deepening up that outer corner a little more. And then just going back into Sauce very lightly and just kind of blending everything out with this color. And then just taking a clean fluffy brush. This brush is new to me. This is the Essence Eye Blender brush. And I'm just going to kind of blend out all the edges. This has nothing on it. I'm just going to kind of blend the shadows together with this very lightly. I'm going to hold the brush way down at the bottom just so I have really light control with the brush. And if you feel like your shadow came too far out to the outer edge of your face, you can always just take a little makeup wipe and your pointer finger and just kind of gently clean that up a little bit if you want to make that line a little bit sharper, or you just feel like you got a little messy there. So this is an easy fix for something like that. And if you feel like the edges look a little harsh from cleaning up, you can just take that same brush and just kind of soften them a little bit. Okay, and then we may or may not put something in the waterline, but we'll decide later. Okay, so for the thing that is new to me, but it's not new at all, this is the L'Oreal True Match Super-Blendable Makeup. And I have the color Classic Ivory Neutral 2, and this color matches me pretty perfectly. I feel like I did a little testing in the store and came home and did some testing and wore it around for a couple hours and didn't really oxidize or anything like that, and it looked like it really blended in with my skin. But I am going to be mixing it with some other things. I'm going to be mixing it with the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Glotion in the color, this is the color Light Glow, and then another one I'm going to be mixing in there is Fair Glow. So I'm basically trying to recreate the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Glow foundation. I could not find a good shade for me in there. So to kind of make this a little bit more glowy, I am just going to add the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Glotion in Light Glow around the edges of my face. Just kind of where I want to be more glowy. and then just taking my Eco Tools Beauty Blender and just blending that out. Okay, so now I'm just going to take my little palette here. I'm going to take a brush for this part, and I'm using the IT Cosmetics foundation brush, and I'm really going to kind of work this in the bristles a little bit. Maybe I'm going to take some and just kind of tap it on the back of my hand so they're not so saturated. And then I'm going to mostly try and focus this in the center of my face where I need the most coverage. Okay, I may have to mix up a little bit more, but I'm going to take whatever is left on the palette and just kind of get it on my sponge and just go around the rest of my face with my sponge. Alright, so I think I'm going to leave the coverage there because we're going to spot conceal, but you can still see some of my problem areas, but that's okay because we're going to try and go for like a light natural coverage and just spot conceal. So the concealer we're going to be using is the Flower Beauty concealer. I think this is the Light Illusion concealer. Yes, Light Illusion Full Coverage Concealer, which is great for spot concealing little problem areas, and I have the lightest color in this, so I'm just gonna take it and just put it right where I really need some more conceal, like where my little spots are. And then to blend these out, we're going to use a brush so that we can try and keep the most coverage on there. Sometimes a sponge will take away the coverage, but we're just using the Real Techniques concealer brush, and we're just going to lightly kind of pat that concealer out. And then sometimes you'll kind of see that you have areas where you can tell you spot concealed. Sometimes I suggest you spot conceal before you do your foundation. That way you don't have those weird little spots and dots if you have a lot to spot conceal. But what I'm going to do today, since I did my spot conceal after my foundation, I'm just going to take the brush that I use to blend out my foundation and just pat it in those areas. I put the concealer to kind of blend it in a little bit more. And then we are going to take that same concealer and use it under our eyes if you need to. I do a little bit, and I am just going to put this basically in the same area that I put my pink color corrector in those darkest parts, and I'm just going to put one little tiny dot in those areas. So taking the same concealer brush, we're just going to lightly kind of pat that out. And then if you feel like the edges need just a little blending there, you can take your foundation brush again and just kind of pat that out. Alright, and then for contouring / bronzing, we're just going to do a very light cream kind of type contour, kind of just trying to keep this as dewy as possible. So I'm going to be taking my Maybelline Fit Me Cream foundation stick, and the color is 330 Toffee, and I'm going to just rub it on the bottom of my beauty blender, or no, I think I'll put it on the sides, on one of the sides of my Eco Tools blending sponge. So I'm just going to put a little bit on the sponge like so. Okay, for cream highlighter, we'll probably just stick with the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Glotion. I will use the lightest color, which is the Fair Glow, and I'm just going to put little tiny dots around the areas I want to highlight. So the very tops of my cheekbones and above my brow. And then just taking a clean side of the beauty sponge and just patting that in. And then for a little bit of blush, sometimes I do blush before highlighting, sometimes I highlight before blush, but I decided today I would do it before highlighting, I'm just going to take this Pixie by Petra Sheer Cheek Gel in the color Natural, and I'm just going to very lightly put this like one little dot on the cheek area, and I'm taking the blush brush from Real Techniques and just kind of stippling that on. We are going to set the under eyes and kind of the T-zone area with a little bit of powder, just because my under eyes do tend to crease. But before I do that, I'm going to just kind of pat them out with that concealer brush and pat out any creases that have already developed. But I'm just going to take that same Milani Prep Set Glow powder and that same IT Cosmetics concealer brush that we use to set our eye primer and just kind of set under the eyes. Alright, and if you're oily like me, you'll probably think this makeup look will slide off of me in no time if I don't set it with some powder. So I'm just going to set it with the Milani Prep Set Glow Powder just to kind of keep it glowy, but if you're super oily, you may want to use a mattifying powder in the areas that you get really oily, but I'm not like crazy oily, I just get a little oily, and I do like to just set my makeup anyway with a little bit of powder. So just taking the Real Techniques powder brush and just kind of strategically setting areas in my face that I don't want to slide off. We're going to use a little bit of a powder highlight just to kind of make it a little bit more glowy. I'm just going to be using the Hourglass Trio here, and I'm going to be taking probably the very first shade right here, and I'm going to take it on the NYX fan brush, and I'm just going to be putting that powder where I put the L'Oreal Glotion. I'm going to take a little bit on the tip of the nose, even though I didn't put any of the Glotion there. I just want to highlight that area just a little bit, but not too much, because with the Glotion it would have been too much for me. So I'm just going to highlight there a little bit. So I'm just using the NYX Matte Finish Setting Spray. And then I always take the bottom of my sponge that I use and just kind of pat out those little droplets. I realized we forgot to highlight our brow bone. So for that, I think we're just going to take the middle highlight in the Hourglass palette, and we're just going to take a like fluffy brush. I think I'll just take the other end of the Urban Decay brush that came in the palette and just highlight the brow bone area. We are going to be taking the Lamora detailer pencil brush and that same highlight powder and just putting it in the inner corner of the eye. We're going to move on to lashes, so just starting off with the L'Oreal Voluminous Primer. This is just a white eyelash primer. And to top off the primer, we're going to be using the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise Mascara. And we're just going to be putting that on the top lashes only. We're going to be doing a fun color on the bottom lashes. And then for the bottom lashes, we are going to be using the L'Oreal Voluminous Original. And this is a like purple color. I'm not sure what the color is called, but I will link it down below. Oh, it looks like it's called Burgundy. You can see it on the bottom. So this is just going to be a nice fun pop of color for the bottom lashes. I've also worn this all over my top lashes and it looks beautiful. It looks, you know, something fun and different from your normal black mascara. So it looks beautiful all over the lashes too. But today I just want to put them on the bottom lashes. I did decide I want to put a little bit of a liner in the waterline. This is a chubby stick, so they do have a liner that is similar to this color, but this is the Ulta Beauty Cream Eyeshadow, Cream Eyeshadow and Liner in Rule of Plum. So if you want, they do have a little sharpener on the bottom, so you can kind of sharpen it a little bit. so that's a nice little bit precise point, and just kind of clean it up a little bit on your hand if needed. Alright, so now for the lip color. I have my shirt on and all my jewelry and stuff now that I have everything done. But for the lip color, I think we're just going to do like a bright pink color. So I'm just going to take the Neutrogena Moisture Smooth Color Stick in the color Bright Berry. And this pink has like a little bit of a blue tone pink to it. It's really nice and bright. And I'm also going to kind of blot a little bit with this makeup wipe. I would blot with a tissue, but I don't have one on hand. And I'm going to take the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Hydrating Lip Shine. I love these things. I have the color Radiant Rose. And I'm just going to put that kind of on the center of the lips. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this get ready with me before going to my ultrasound. Hopefully you guys found this helpful and kind of easy to do if you want to recreate this look. I will be filming a DIY cushion pack once I get my cushion in, and putting the face products, the L'Oreal face products that I used on my face today in the cushion. They seem to blend together really nicely, and I'm really liking the effect that I got from them so far. So yeah, I'll just kind of wear it today and see how it goes, and then I will film my cushion compact DIY type thing, because no one really likes pour bottles like this anyway. It's kind of a pain in the butt, so I think to kind of make it work a little bit better, I'll just put it in a cushion. So yeah, be on the lookout for that video. Be on the lookout for pregnancy videos if that is an interest for you. I do cleaning videos and beauty videos like this, so be sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up, and leave me a comment down below if you'd like. And yeah, as always, live life in full bloom, and I will see you guys later. Bye!